The NFL, high schools, and Pee Wee sports leagues are debating how to deal with concussions in sports. To understand how to deal with them, we need to know what a concussion is.
A concussion is a mild brain injury. So despite the fact that our brains are protected by a skull and membranes and all of that, it's still possible to injure your brain. A person will feel dizzy, they can feel nauseous, they can have that sense of confusion, lose their balance. It can also change some of your behaviors and personalities.
Senior varsity football player Alex Borowski has had multiple concussions throughout his career and has had first-hand experience with the consequences of concussions.
So I got a concussion on the opening kickoff of a game versus Washington. I got blindsided. The hit itself wasn't that big. I suffered worse hits, 2 days earlier in practice. But that one in particular, I went blank, and I was basically sleepwalking through the rest of the game. They didn't take me out until the third quarter when one of my coaches noticed how I was acting, and even on film I could see that, I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was just out of it the next few days until I went to the doctor, and it lingered for a while, about 2 weeks after, and it was hard to bounce back from that.
Our high school football coach has had plenty of experiences detecting and dealing with concussions on the field.
It depends on the severity. Sometimes it knocks them out. Sometimes they are a little woozy. They'll wobble back and forth back to the huddle or back to the sideline. And some are, the scary ones are the ones that the kids, you don't notice. They just pop up, and those are the ones to worry about because you don't know. And they run right back out. When a guy gets knocked out, he shouldn't be going back in, right? But the ones that they kind of come off and they just kind of shaking their head, you don't know exactly what's going on.
I never really thought concussions was something that, happened, and when it does happen, it's, this huge accident. But when I actually got my concussion, it was a small hit, and it wasn't anything that much out of the ordinary. So it really opened my eyes to, how easy it can happen.
While being both a parent and a coach for Windsor's Little League football team, he tells us his concerns for letting his kids play in highly physical contact sports.
Well, let's see. Out of my three boys, Alex played for, I think, about 10 years, and then my middle son played for 1 year, and my youngest son played for about 6 years. Never been diagnosed with a concussion, but I'm pretty sure over the years, Alex especially sustained some concussions, but wasn't diagnosed. I think, now it seems that it's being taken a little bit more seriously at all levels than it was probably back 4 or 5 years ago when he was playing.
My mom never even wanted me to play football. They always told me, what the dangers. You see these videos of kids getting, knocked out right in front of their, hometown, and they always told me what can happen. And they're always really careful. They're always real worried about me.
My son was so passionate about football. It was the one thing he loved so much that I think if we took that away from him, it wouldn't be fair to him, because that's what he loved to do. If someone chooses, they love skydiving. There's a risk to that, but if they love doing it, and it's part of what makes their life complete, then are you going to tell them, hey, you can't skydive? So, like I said, there's inherent risk in everything. As a parent, I would say there's so many valuable things to team sports: camaraderie, friendship, values, integrity, just having those people around you, creating that friendship and those bonds that'll last for life. I think if you take risk versus reward, I think there's so much that football offers. Any team sport, soccer, baseball, there's just so much that sports offer that a lot of times I think it's worth the risk. And I obviously think, if they play and they do sustain a concussion, the way that we're focused on it and dealing with it now, I believe that the benefits are much higher than the risks.
In the end, there's always different opinions on how concussions should be dealt with. Both parents and players have to constantly value the risks versus the rewards.